Realize we're not live. Fuck me. Hey guys, I just realized that I didn't hit the second to go live button. Because for YouTube you have to hit a second button to go live. Whoops. I've been sitting here talking to myself for the last 10 minutes. Welcome to the Sony State of Play, May 30th, 2024.
Oh, jukebox.
Let's dive on into this.
It was a spontaneous, creative decision made after years of careful research.
Being really old and
sounds
almost
very
dying
familiar
a
to me.
bunch doesn't count as research.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. Besides, it worked, didn't it?
Why is it so familiar?
much longer
Oh my
can you
god.
let
Drives me nuts.
Hey,
Oh, we got a
start
weird
time.
chat thing going on there too.
You'll like it. Trust me.
No. Do not trust him.
Good.
Where's this coming from?
It's coming from you back on the ship saying, trust me, we're professionals. We'll stick to the plan. We can do this. And then, that. That was not the plan.
Technically, it was a plan. It just
Just
wasn't
got
the
to
same
leave that
plan
alone.
we
I don't know
started.
why it's looking like that,
If we
but
don't leave with this blue
Hey,
button,
Mar. We will. We will.
I'll be waiting
this is
outside.
Concord, I guess. Oh hi.
No one moves. We'll be taking this off your hands.
What? This?
Funny.
Every space adventure is Guardians of the Galaxy. See, not knowing what Concord is, this just reads in my brain as like MOBA.
So this down a
something.
little for you. Meet at the rendezvous.
I doubt that that's what it is, but it's giving me big like Overwatch vibes. But a little bit more centrally focused, I don't know. Oh, sick. Emma Frost got buff.
Fine. I only got one of my legs.
How are those hands?
Okay.
How bad is it? You're still mad at me?
Okay. All right.
Lennox!
Got him.
One off.
They
This
threw a
is you.
bleep on the robot speaking.
Got it.
I am developing a taste for destruction. Goodbye.
Okay.
This would be a very dishonorable way for us all to die.
Oh, that
Don't
dude's the
worry.
Drax.
Nobody's dying dishonorably.
This guy's the
Also,
Star-Lord.
We're bringing this back with us. Hey, Mark. What are you doing?
Getting us to the rendezvous point.
Perhaps we should have let go also.
One off. Do not dare.
But we were supposed to stick together.
If you
And
let
Hammer
go,
would
I
never leave me.
swear I will
Oh,
reinvent
look, there they are. Hi. What the?
Okay.
I am glad you avoided a dishonorable death.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. Or something.
I knew this was gonna work.
This wasn't the plan.
Well, it just wasn't the one we started with.
Oh my
All
god.
right. Another satisfied customer. Goods delivered. I send everyone their cut.
Ooh, yeah.
So do you, like, carry it around with you for emergency bland situations or whatever?
Hey, Mara. Don't joke about something like this.
Our next job is somewhere with less
We'll
scaffolding.
have no scaffolding. Zero scaffolding. I promise.
This is the weirdest shit to be like.
We were apart for so long. I thought I'd never feel your fiery embrace again.
You sound ridiculous.
Okay.
Concord is a 5v5 first-person shooter
fucking
set
knew
in
it.
the vibrant sci-fi universe of the Concord Galaxy.
God damn it.
In Concord, from the moment you log on, you are part of the crew of the North
So it
Star,
literally is a
group
MOBA
of
then.
guns for
All
hire
right.
known in our galaxy as free gunners. Free gunners are those lucky enough to be free to roam the stars. They take high-stake jobs on worlds across wild space, where they face other
I
fiercely
can't believe that
competitive
we're
free
still
gunner
doing
crews.
5v5
Here's the very
MOBA
first look at the
these
gameplay
days.
of
I feel like
Concord.
that's such a dated genre for
Free
like
gunning.
multiplayer.
It's hard work.
I honestly thought, I thought that they were doing, like, granted, it would have been even more Guardians of the Galaxy if it was a big RPG, because that's what the Guardians of the Galaxy game is, but
Right on target.
I would have been cooler with that than, like, Overwatch 9.
Something of themselves, a chance to be someone.
I don't know. This is a genre of game that is very hard for me to get into. It just all kind of feels the same, and it's not like there's some style here. There's some unique flair to it. The humor feels pretty derivative, but like they're doing something with it. But like I don't know.
And in the wild,
it all
it's
feels
game.
the game feel is all the same to me.
Target blinded.
I don't know. I'm sure that if you're someone who is into MOBA like gameplay, then you might be like looking at more details of this and getting more into it. But for me, it's just like it just bores me. I don't know. I was kind of tired. I discovered very early into League of Legends that I was not really interested in MOBA gameplay.
That's me.
And this just, it's honestly kind of stunning that we're like 15 plus years into the genre, and it all still kind of feels a little bit in the same thing. Hey, Glover Pride. Welcome. Thanks for that. Happy to have you on. We're kind of just feeling this one out a little bit. We're going to kind of see how the rest of this goes, but this is not my favorite beginning to this, but it's a FOBA. Oh, yeah, wait.
Make our mark on this galaxy.
Wait, what would the F in FOBA be? Overwatch is not a Overwatch is a FOBA. What is I thought it was.
The crew is gathering.
What was what? Multiplayer online battle arena?
With Concord,
what would a FOBA be?
We leaned on the strengths and background of our
First
team
person.
to make a tight, well-balanced FPS
I mean, it's
that
still
feels great to play.
Multiplayer online battle arena
and our tech
game.
on building
I don't
a
know.
strong gameplay foundation of tight core movement, precise
FPS
visceral
online
shooting,
battle
and
arena.
expressive ability.
We ended up finding ourselves influenced
The
a lot by
FPS feels
fighting
kind of
games and
ancillary to the
even
whole
strategy
thing, honestly.
in
It's
an
just
interesting way that
a
the
subdivision of
asymmetry your
MOBAs at that
characters
point.
Makes every fight, every matchup feel really different.
Leaning into the asymmetry of the characters,
like,
really pushing the possibilities.
You don't play Overwatch the same way you play League of Legends, but like
improvisation. That's where we can
it's basically.
We also have abilities that are meant to have impact beyond direct
I think that in certain ways, Overwatch and League of Legends do play similar ways. I think that Overwatch is a much more active experience, where League is a lot more of a strategic, I guess, vibe to it. Like, League of Legends has more DNA from like the RTS days, whereas Overwatch has more DNA from like the Halo days, in terms of like where the like literal in the moment gameplay is coming from. But ultimately, it's the same goal structure. It's the same like gist of like how you team up, how you confront one another, what the end goal generally
give you a
is.
chance to see our characters off the job. They will feature ongoing narrative arcs that grow the characters' stories and relationships and unpack the broader Concord galaxy.
Why are you kissing a tchotchke?
We're excited to share that we'll be hosting a pre-launch beta in July, followed by Concord's global
See how this
launch
goes. I feel
on
like
August
every
23rd,
time a new one of these games comes out, there are like 50 of them that go nowhere, and one that like gets a little bit of life before it drowns out. But oh boy. Okay. Rough start. And we also spent 10 minutes on this, so oh boy. I have no idea how long this is supposed to be, but why are we seeing that? Why are we getting the time to start Ed? Oh yeah, Ragnarok's getting a DLC, though we already kind of knew that. Is it already out? Is the DLC for Ragnarok already out?
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you? A calm and reasonable person.
That is a very familiar voice. Almost sounded like Sylvester Stallone. That's not right though.
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos?
War is coming. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok.
Oh, Ron Perlman. That sounds more. Yeah, that sounds more accurate.
Kratos of Sparta.
Ron Perlman.
against me.
Punching out Thor. Is that when they announced it? Is hyping up the unannounced PC port? Okay,
Tricks up
gotcha,
his sleeve we
gotcha.
haven't dared to consider.
We have guests.
Definitely a little bit strange for a PlayStation State of Play to be dropping PC announcements. I know this was kind of one of the more controversial decisions that Sony was making lately, but it does
do what is necessary.
It does kind of mean interesting things for the brand overall when it's like, hey, the console's got very few exclusives. What the fuck? Console's got very few exclusives, and now we're spreading onto PC as well. Not that I necessarily disagree with it. Like, I get that why the decision is being made, and it's probably a smart one anyway, but just vibes-wise, it's a little bit interesting.
Soldiers and officials alike oppress the people for personal gain, and the people must turn to thievery for
Yeah,
food.
Dynasty Warriors game? Oh, actually, maybe.
Perhaps this is heaven's way of lamenting the state of the land.
But Omega Force,
Men
yeah,
are
Omega Force
powerless
does
at the feet of the divine.
does Dynasty games, don't they?
But even so, someone must act.
Under Koei Tecmo, I think. Unless it's going to be like another Romance of the Three Kingdoms 15 or something. I mean, certainly feels very Dynasty. A nameless hero that you get to name. Origins. Oh boy. We're going back to the beginning because we've kind of run out of historical moments to use as a basis.
Momo, I think I was dreaming. It wasn't a dream.
Well, those are collectible orbs.
We were really transported to Mirrorland. The path of a stylist is never easy.
Oh, sick. Final Fantasy X-2-2.
Are you ready for it? Ready. We're ready. Ready.
Oh, that was a weird little blip of blur there. It's pretty sick they got the jazz band from Mario Odyssey for this. What does this remind me of? This feels like a mix of the Trials of Mana remake and like the Princess Peach game. I think that's just because of the style changes, but this is cute though. Kind of reminds me. It's got like a little bit of like a I was gonna say FF12, but actually it might say Dragon Quest 11 kind of thing going on. Those almost look like Chocobos for a minute. If I had a nickel for every time we got a Infinity Nikki. Okay. If I had a nickel for every time we got a dress-changing based puzzle platformer in 2024, I'd have 2 nickels, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Cute.
Oh, they do look a little like Palicos, that's true.
I have seen the miracles you so claim.
Okay.
Until the towering shadows vanished.
Okay, big time, well, up until that I was going to say, alright, somebody likes Dark Souls.
But all that came were inferior shades.
Okay.
Why do we have to bear the consequences of such power?
Time. War. Mortality. These essences shall not fall into your treacherous hands.
I'm having a hard time pinning this one down.
Wayward emissaries, grant us the forgotten miracles. Rain fire from above.
This desolate land needs a sprinkle of madness.
Remember, no matter what happens, we did not betray this world.
Ballad of Antara. Okay, you know what? That was a pretty decent. That was a pretty solid trailer there. A lot of like fantasy element games tend to roll off me a little bit, but that was pretty good. Oh boy, VR time. All right, what's it gonna be? Skydance. Oh, like Skydance Pictures? I didn't realize that at games department.
I thought I could be a hero and break the curse.
I was wrong.
But I was a fool.
I was close.
There is no hope here.
This almost looks like it reminds me of the Castle Domitresque. Resident Evil Village. I guess that's just a castle. I don't know.
Outsider! Your head is mine!
Okay. What?
The poison in my veins begs me to kill.
You know what I want? I want a fucking Infinity Blade remake.
I'll put you in the ground!
What?
The power of our god is immeasurable!
I mean, it's not that big. I would say that's fairly measurable.
But heroes don't survive the Forsaken Lands. Only
Got a big
monsters
nose.
do.
It really feels like there's no reason that game couldn't be done outside of VR. All right. Servios. Yeah, the behemoth looks weird. That big balloon nose definitely wasn't doing any favors. Check out our new game, The Big Scary Monster. And the Big Scary Monster is a balloon animal. Oh, it is an alien. I was about to say, I wonder if this is something related with Alien. Okay. Rogue Incursion. These names are getting worse. These are really turning into like mid-2000s shovelware game subtitles. That's not helping.
Hi,
Rogue
everyone.
Incursion
I'm
sounds
Sean
like a spin-off
Benson.
GoldenEye
I'm back
game.
on State of Play to introduce more exciting titles coming to
All right.
PlayStation, starting with a highly anticipated PvP shooter, playable soon on PS5.
Is it? Is it highly anticipated? We do have a handful of Marvel titles coming. Is this going to be Iron Man or Black Panther or something else? Okay. Okay.
All realities converge here. Destiny awaits.
Uh-huh.
Stronger together.
Yeah, this is kind of just more of a watch.
Who needs a power-up? Free fire zone.
Embrace the chaos.
Insignificant attacks.
It's funny. I actually did web work for a MOBA way back.
I'm back, baby.
Back in, God, what would that have been? 2014-ish, somewhere around there. I think it was 2014. It never came out, never made it out of beta, but Infinite Crisis with Turbine before they became Warner Brothers Games Boston. It's an interesting time. They also had like a pretty cool like single player situation that they were working on as well, but Marvel Rivals. That just rolls right off the tongue. Marvel Rivals. Oh no. No. Don't go making, please, not a Galactus anime girl. Oh, Jesus. Check it out, guys. We made Galactus Big Titty Anime Girl. Yeah. Okay. Is this going to be a fighting game? She was a comic character in a miniseries. No shit. Galacta. Okay. Well, all right. I will give them the credit of not having come up with that on the fly for the game specifically then. What the hell? Man, Soul Calibur looks weird. Actually, no. What does this remind me of? This reminds me of Onimusha. I don't think it is, though. I don't recognize any of these dudes. Granted, I don't know that I necessarily would recognize where winds meet. Okay. I don't know that I would have recognized necessarily any Onimusha characters anyway, but...
Hello, friends and fans. I'm super excited to welcome all my pals back to the annual Blackwood Winter Getaway. Oh, nice one.
You can't hide from me, Michael.
Oh, you're going down.
Oh man, it's Glass Onion, but as a horror game. Yeah, I'm...
It means
Tomorrow
so much
I'll be gone.
that we're all still here together.
Do it.
Fight the break of dawn.
Damn it, I got the wrong response
I feel like
lyric.
someone's watching us.
Just going out there.
Are we really doing a spooky,
make
breathy
this one
voiced
trip
save
we will never
tonight
forget.
for this? Oh my god. Oh, sick. Bruno Mars is in a video game. Sorry, no, not Bruno Mars. Oh god, Rami Malek. Yeah, no, I'm struggling on these. There's a couple that are at least interesting.
It's horrible.
I will admit I've forgotten the name already.
I don't want to make hasty decisions that get everyone killed.
Arcana?
We should stay put right here until dawn.
Jessica!
You can't let me die!
This feels like a Saw game almost, but... Oh, right, until dawn. Okay. Save tonight was a very strange choice. Of Exile, alright. That is a logo that looks like it came straight out of 2002.
Was once a peaceful land, but each day descends further into madness.
Okay.
Famine and plague besiege us.
What about sieges?
The very earth is being poisoned.
Did it? Stop updating?
Once our protectors have turned on us.
No, it looks like everything's still in there.
Now they come for me.
Oh boy. I've never been especially into like Diablo and Diablo-like, so.
I must be the one to face this nightmare.
No noose this time. I'll remove your head myself.
It's gonna take me a little while.
Do it alone.
All right, couch co-op. You can appreciate that being a thing, just ever. So, props. Crossplay, also good. All right, not really my like cross progression. All right, not really my cup of tea, but like props. This is all good stuff that ought to be more common in games. Like, it really should be the standard, you know? Extra complicated Diablo. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting off of that. All right.
Excuse me.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I was just...
It's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Is this Silent Hill?
I'm looking for Silent Hill.
It is. Okay.
I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it?
A lot of people are like dead and stuff.
Is it dangerous?
Maybe.
What's weird is
I'll be careful.
They didn't
not lying.
remake the original, right? They're only
Guess
remaking
I don't really
2.
care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going either way.
Ah, the Lacade Diner.
No, you shouldn't be here.
Oh no, everyone's very confusing nurse characters.
I'll be good, I promise. Tell him I'll be good, please.
Pyramid Head. Yeah, who is developing this?
No, please.
Konami Bloober? Bloober team? Okay.
Capcom announced this next game last December, offering just a glimpse of what's in store for their celebrated franchise. Today, I am so excited to share the first full gameplay trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds.
I was going to say Monster Hunter, I assume, because they haven't put out trailers for anything, any other franchises lately.
As soon as we find a good spot, we can get things set up and ready to go. And then we can get started.
This
Okay.
is gonna be great.
You bet.
I hope we find them soon.
Oh, yeah, that's not so good. Yeah, I feel like Silent Hill 2 is one that needs to be done very
Incredible.
deliberately and
I've
delicately.
never heard of a Karatnoth herd this big before. One of them's got big spikes on its back.
It's a hard C, not a soft C. Okay.
Now to lead it away from
The
the
big
pack.
bear.
We'll make for the desert.
I guess so, but I don't know. We have, I was going to say Triceratops is definitely not the way we tend to say that one. This is what, Monster Hunter Wilds?
Now commencing the hunt by order of the guild.
Okay. Hungry. Yeah, I mean, this is... This is interesting-ish. It feels a little weird without, like, a HUD or something. To at least get a general sense of what the game might look like during, or maybe this is what it would look like during. I don't know. Like, it feels like there's a lack of information, which I get it, it's a trailer, but like...
I've selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's weird when it's like, here's this big, huge attack to this bear thing's face, and like nothing really happens at all. It's like, okay. I mean, Yeah, I mean that was kind of like Zero HUD seems a little unlikely, but okay. Team Asshole Oh, Astro. Are we getting a proper actual Astro game? So it means play. Oh, that's fun. Are we getting like a full-scale sequel to Astro's Playroom? Super Astro's Galaxy. Is it entirely a flight game? No. Okay. It is extremely funny to me in some ways that we just got a sequel to the Nintendo Switch almost pack-in title, the Switch like demo game of 1-2 Switch. Got everybody 1-2 Switch. And it seems like we're getting a sequel now to Astro's Playroom, the essentially pack-in title for the PS5. Oh, sick! It's Bingo Highway. I feel like they're trying to turn Astro into Sackboy. Okay, Parappa the Rap is an interesting thing there. Check out this Sony phone. Oh, it's literally just a PS5. Oh, that's literally PS5. What? Okay. Yeah, this at least looks interesting. I'm moderately confused, but... Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that it's a game trying to be a game, not a movie. Kratos, alright. Evil Genie. This is pretty fun. It's a little strange. It's a little, was it, oh god, what the hell is it, Neptunia, whatever the thing is? Sega had their thing for a while. Astrobot, okay. Odd name for it, but... Okay, alright. Not bad, not bad. Hello, Milkman. Hello, hello.
Be sure to visit PlayStation blog for more on the games you just saw, as well as PlayStation.com for the latest
tell me that
on Days of Play.
was that everything?
This
oh,
global
man.
celebration runs through June 12th.
Oh, boy.
With deals on PlayStation Store, great new
Astrobot,
content
not to be
coming
confused with
PlayStation
Astro
Plus,
Boy.
and much
Sure
more.
is good that the T and the Y are right next to each other on the keyboard. Oh boy, that sure does look like that was everything. Yeah, Infinity Nikki was okay. The Altana, whatever it was. I think that was the closer / hype trailer. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was it there. So there were like 2.5 ones that really interested me in there. Yeah, the one with that like purple haze thing going on that kind of had the one that looked like it was compared to like Dark Souls at the beginning, but kind of expanded out a little bit. That one looked pretty interesting. Infinity Nikki is at least a unique looking thing. I really don't know what to make of it yet, but it's at least something that doesn't feel like everything I've already seen before. So I honestly appreciate it just for that. I'll be curious to see, what that one's looking like as we get closer. And then, Astrobot, that looked cute. Astro's Playroom was a fun time too, so I'm very interested to see if they can keep up the little innovative. I feel like Astro's Playroom exemplified for the PS5 a lot of the same things that Nintendo kind of struggled with both the Wii U and the Switch, in that in-house they're like, hey, check out all these weird little quirky things you can do with the controller, and then like nobody else did anything with them, which is a shame. I think I am glad for both Nintendo and Sony for continuing to like try to make those things. Like how many games use the infrared on the Switch Joy-Cons? I can't think of almost any that use the infrared sensor on the what, left Joy-Con, I think. But I don't know, it's kind of fun when they used it for that. But like same thing here. Astro's Playroom is a great tech demo for the controller itself, and I'm hoping that Astrobot will continue that trend for them, I guess. Yeah, this was a fairly like selection of stuff. They're gonna have 2 or 3 games that are kind of interesting to me, and most of the rest is stuff that I'm gonna forget exists as soon as we're done talking about it here. I feel like Sony pretty badly needed a real like killer showcase today to kind of get people back. I don't think they're in as bad of a spot right now as Microsoft. I think Microsoft's in the middle of a really gnarly PR tornado, but only 2 months ago it was Sony that was kind of in the crosshairs for kind of just not bothering with exclusives and moving to like cross-platform with PC a little bit harder, which made people kind of go like, all right, so what is even the point of owning a PS5 then? I don't think this is going to assuage those fears for people. I don't think this is gonna like bolster people's faith in the PS5 specifically. But I don't know. Some of these are games that like just don't appeal to me, but may really appeal to a lot of other people. If I didn't have a PS5 already, I would not be like, oh shit, I need to get a PS5 right now based off of this presentation. And I think that's something that Sony kind of really needs right now. And again, Xbox is in a worse place, both in terms of their PR and also their console sales are, I think they've sold about half as many. I got to double check this as I say it so I don't completely embarrass myself. Oh boy, as I light myself up on the screen here. Let's see. No, I was correct. The PS5 has sold about 60 million units. The Xbox Series X and S together have sold about 20 million units. Like the Oculus Quest 2 has sold a similar number of consoles in the same amount of time. So like Xbox, like as much as it would have really helped Sony to have like a really killer presentation here, they don't need one to survive. Xbox badly needs an amazing presentation coming up. And if they don't have one, then I think they're going to really, really fucking struggle with the next year, because they're really not in a good place for a whole bunch of reasons at this moment in time. Obviously, we're kind of expecting Nintendo. They said that the June Direct is not going to include details about the Switch successor, but that we'll be hearing more about it in the fall, I believe. So I'll be curious what the June Direct is going to be focused on based on that. Yeah, put too many chips behind live services. Yeah, they're really not impressing with their games lately. It's very man, it's kind of a bummer that like I try really hard not to just come off as like a huge Nintendo fanboy, because like I don't know, I feel like there's a certain subtle it's not really as overt of a like console war, but there's definitely like a vibe thing for like Nintendo versus not Nintendo in gaming right now. But it's also like, man, Nintendo's the only one of the three that's really like putting out games, like a lot of games and stuff that has broad appeal, and like the sales numbers kind of support that, you know? So I don't know, as much as people are like, oh, I'm so tired of, the open world Zelda games. I want to say, yeah, there were more copies. I gotta look this up right now. Okay. Yeah. So there have been 21 million Xbox Series S and X consoles sold in the last 4 years. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has sold 20.61 million copies. there are almost as many copies of Tears of the Kingdom that have been sold as entire Xbox consoles in the current generation. Like, it's such a wide berth between them. And it's like, I just kind of, yeah, Sony and Microsoft are tech companies, first and foremost. But Sony, see, Microsoft is a tech empire that is not in any danger of, like, if Xbox went down, it'd be a bummer, but they could still keep producing certain things and really continue to shine. And I think they would even be able to just get away with doing PC games and have it be whatever. Sony has been, like, fairly publicly on the razor's edge for so long. Between literally the stuff that keeps them alive right now is PlayStation and Spider-Man, and that's straight up just about it. Like, Sony Pictures routinely puts out shit over and over again, and as we can see between Morbius and Madam Web and soon to be Kraven the Hunter, even their Spider-Man related properties aren't really helping them too much. And yeah, that's the other thing too, is we've got the dev cycles have gotten absurd. It really started right around the time the D-pad did, which was kind of funny. We got started in 2011. We kind of rebooted ourselves a bit in 2013. And since that point, game dev cycles have switched from being kind of 2-ish years, 3 or so, if it was going to be like on the bigger side, to like 4 or 5 kind of being the norm. And then far beyond that for it to be like a AAA title. Yeah, Sony does a lot of, like, they have a lot of like TVs, and they do like a lot of they do a lot of hardware manufacturing tech, which does reasonably well from what I'm told. And like that's it's a more stable platform for them for sure. Meanwhile, yeah, I don't know. It's I'm very curious where things are going to go over the next like 3 years, because the consoles are now, they're 4 years old, Xbox and the PlayStation. Yeah, they're about 4 years old now. They haven't made a particularly big splash. The PS5's done okay. The Xbox, I thought, was doing okay, but it really isn't. Switch 2 is coming out next spring. So they're going to have half a generation's worth of time to be a comparison point against where Sony and Microsoft are. I think it's very unlikely that the Switch 2 doesn't pass by the Xbox Series X and S's 21 million extremely fast. I can't imagine that it's going to take them amazingly long to get past the PS5 either. It might be like a 2 or 3 year kind of thing, but who knows? I'm curious if there are going to be any major paradigm shifts on the horizon. I think Microsoft has been buying up. They've been doing this for a while, but they keep buying up studios and then shredding them. And Sony just kind of seems like they don't care in a lot of ways. Like, they get into weird business ventures, and then it's like, okay, but why? Why are you doing this? And I don't know. It just feels like there's not enough innovation coming out of either of them. I think stuff like, honestly, from today's thing, so Astrobot is just like a quirky, weird thing based off of a pretty innovative idea for a gaming premise. Infinity Nikki at least is something that we haven't seen 1,000 times before. Like, it just kind of feels like we have a lot of overproduced churn, I guess. There's a lot of very samey looking stuff. And like, you see posts like, let's zoom in on the eyeballs. Which one is the best? It's like, who fucking cares? Make the games good. Like, I don't care if I can count the eyelashes on their face if the game is boring or if it feels like 80 other games that came out this year. I don't know. Like, yeah, Nintendo has games that are finished that they haven't released yet. And Nintendo, their big struggle is that they have to spread out all of these finished games, first and second party titles. Whereas it feels like it takes forever to get to a new, like, major release for the PS5 and the Xbox. Like, I don't know. I want to be able to root for them a little bit more, but it's just kind of like, I don't know what the plan is here, guys. It's very, very weird. and they're years away from another console release. And like, I have heard murmurs, and I don't know if this is more projections, predictions, analysis, research, or if this is coming from a real source. But there are murmurs that people aren't sure if Microsoft's going to make it past the next console generation after this. Like, they are currently underselling the original Xbox right now. The original Xbox sold 24 million units. The Xbox Series Series X and S after 4 years hasn't even bypassed the GameCube yet, which was like a historic turning point at that point where like Nintendo was on a massive downswing before the Wii came out. Like, it's really not a good place for them to be. PlayStation is by and large doing okay. Their big thing has always been tech. The PS3, I think, was the one that really pushed Blu-ray technology, which was itself a Sony invention. And they've kind of ridden off of these really intensely dense kind of experiences, which is like all well and good. I think part of it too is PlayStation, like the Sony brand is a hell of a lot better received in Japan. Xbox does terribly in Japan and literally always has. They've never had a foothold in Japan. And I think we're reaching a point where they're losing their foothold in the States as well. The Activision mergers made a lot of mess that made Microsoft go, hold on, you're making no money at all with this division. Yeah. I think they merged with a company that itself over-merged, and it's in a spot now where it's like, okay, we have this hydra of studios that they just don't know how to direct. Not the studios don't know how to direct. The umbrella companies on top of them do not know how to manage them correctly. I've seen it in a lot of other places as well, where the problem is like, okay, we've got 10 studios under our banner, but all of their budgets come from the same pot, and it's like that's gonna cause problems if it's not managed very, very carefully. And just, I don't know, it seems like Microsoft is at the center of this massive hurricane of layoffs and job crises in gaming. It's not just them, but it is them and also companies they own. And like, I don't know. Like, by comparison, let's see here. Yeah, like 20 million is really the bottom, the absolute bottom of what you could call a moderate success of a game system. Because like, so by comparison, the Wii U sold 13.5 million units, and it did very badly. Same thing with the PS Vita, 10 to 15 million. It's estimated that we don't have an official figure, but it's not good. That's not a good 10 to 15 million is not a good amount. The next thing above that is the Oculus Quest 2 at about 20 million and the Xbox Series X at about 21 million. Like, this is really not a strong showing. And it's, if they can't turn things around, then there's the question of like, okay, Sony's going to make another PlayStation. They're going to make another PlayStation. It's going to come out in like 2028, something like that. It's really going to depend how things are looking over the next couple of years. Microsoft, are they going to even bother making another one in 2020 whatever? Or in like 2.5 years, are they going to announce the Xbox Series O or something, and it's just going to be a slightly souped up X? They're going to keep the Xbox family thing going and quietly fade away as that one also fails to like make a meaningful dent in all of it. I really don't know. It seems like it's in a bad spot for Microsoft. I know that this is the Sony State of Play video, by the way, but it's all kind of tied together with just the state of the industry right now. Yeah, if Call of Duty can't get some shit moving, the Game Pass thing is probably going to be gonzo, which is a shame. To me, that was one of the most interesting and compelling reasons to have an Xbox, was the Xbox Game Pass. To the point where I looked at it and went, how are they possibly making money off of this? And my guess would be Xbox Live Gold subscriptions and console sales. and it kind of seems like that's not really doing it anymore. So I don't know. Again, they're in a very weird spot with this. Today's presentation was not especially impactful in my opinion. Let me see here. I want to see if there's a thing coming up. I guess, oh my God, I forgot that Xbox had a showcase already. Although I guess they're having another one soon. Oh, apparently Microsoft is planning to launch a fully digital Series X this summer. That's not going to go well if they already haven't been selling their regular ones, but let me see. Xbox Showcase. I thought I saw something that said June, but let's see. Yeah, June 9th. So at the end of next weekend. Presumably actually during Summer Games Fest, probably. They're going to have a big thing, and that's really going to have to be the deciding factor for them on this. Yeah, I don't know. I just like... I don't have a lot of like strong feelings coming off of this. Not a lot for me to feel hyped about. 2.5 games. I would love to know what you guys think if you're watching this in VOD later, as well as in the comments here. But I'm gonna bail at this point. Like, man, I don't know. It's not a very inspiring set of stuff that we're seeing here. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how things go going forward, but I don't know. It's not looking amazing for PlayStation, though they're doing fine-ish overall. But it certainly isn't looking good for Xbox. They will need to have a motherfucker of a showcase for that to be a good year for them. And just to double check, Summer Games Fest is also next weekend. Yeah. Okay. So we'll be covering that then. We'll be keeping an eye out. We'll take a look at the schedule. I don't know that we're going to do all of them, but we're at least going to try to do some of the more significant chunks of that. Yeah, there should be at least some interesting stuff coming out of that. There are some Summer Games Fest has kind of, or sorry, Summer Game Fest. I keep saying games. Summer Game Fest has kind of usurped the like main stage status from E3 now that E3 is defunct, but hopefully there will be some more interesting stuff there. But all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys very, very much for hanging with me for this, and we'll see how the other ones go. So bye.